Hi, my name is Kyle Gregory from the UK, as you can tell by my accent. And in this video, I'm going to be walking through why speed is such an important thing. I personally make multiple six figures for my clients, as you can see here. Cash collected as well, our reviews and stuff, testimonials. And I personally make over $30,000 a month. Last month, I made $32,007. And in this video, like I said, I'm just going to walk through why speed is such an important thing to do within business and arguably in life. I'm going to show you my 3 reasons why that is too. So for the very first reason, let's jump into it. Okay, as you can see, back with the pen, back with the iPad. So the very first reason why speed is such an important thing. Now I'm going to give you a bit of background on why I think, as you can see here, getting feedback sooner. Getting feedback sooner. That's the first thing that, the first reason why getting moving so quickly is important. Now to give you a bit of a backstory on why this is, I had a client who currently ran ads and was running ads, and their past agency was doing XYZ thing that they didn't like, okay? So they were the page too slow, okay? Ads, getting them up too slow. Tracking too slow. All of it was too slow. So they ended up churning and not sticking with them. They wanted to get someone new. That's why I came in. And as soon as I came in, the first thing I did was get their page up in 1 day. Ads were ready in 2 days, and tracking, again, ready in 1 day. So the past agency, who only got, I think, took 9 months to actually have good tracking, I did in 1 day. So that, for example, is a reason that that starts dinging in your client's head, thinking, wow, this guy's different. This whole thing is different. And when you have an offer, there's 4 things you can beat people on. It's price, it's speed, it's trust, and sort of quality, and you can just be better, or you can be different overall. But this alone was one of the reasons that made them think, okay, I need to stick with this guy. And this is one of my longest serving clients. But yeah, feedback happens sooner. And another way to put this is, if I make 1 set of ads every day, whereas someone else does 1 ad per week, that means in 1 week I would have made 7. So I have 7 iterations. I can look at what my ads performed, what they did, and I can make something better the next time. Whereas he would have only had 1. And now if you take that out across the entire year, I would have 364 iterations, whereas he would only have 52. And that alone is like a 7x difference. So at the end of the year, we'll be 7x better off. So if you're trying to get to like multiple 6 figures, 100K a month, $1 million a month, you need to get feedback quicker so you can grow quicker. Also, with the age that we're in now, I should touch on my second point with AI, you need to be getting feedback sooner because the market's moving at a quick pace. So if you aren't changing your direction or iterating or making sure you're staying on course to your goal, you're not going to get where you want to get to. Because the barrier to entry is getting so low now. Literally anyone can do anything. So people are losing their competitive edges. And if you aren't improving and trying to find a new competitive edge for yourself, it'll be gone. It won't stay there. So that's why getting feedback quick is important. The second reason why it's so important is to capitalize on opportunities. There's a reason why this is so important. It's because I'm going to give you another story, actually. And it's sort of something that another client of mine experienced for 3 months. Okay. He had been building out a website. So he had a programmer that he contracted, a coder as well. They're going back and forth, arguing all the time, saying, no, it should be this way, that should be this way. And altogether, when I started working with them, this website was still getting built. Okay, 3 whole months. And when I was on this call with him, I was listening to hear him say this. I said, show me your website. He pulled it up and I was like, oh my God. I said, give me your website. So within, if you want to guess, you can pause the video here, just make a little guess if you want. His website, I rebuilt it in 2 hours. It took them 3 whole months. And that was with all the back-end coding, back-end systems, blogs and stuff set up for organic to help it rank higher, SEO, all that was set up within 2 hours. And in this day and age, like I mentioned with AI, right? Compared to this guy, so if we take 8 hours a day, 30 days a week, that's like 720 hours. A visual difference is I've just moved 360 times quicker than this other group here, which means that by the end of the year, I'll be in a 360 times better place if this rate continues. But that's my point. You can capitalize on opportunities that you didn't even see before, because now you've got all this other workload out of the way. You can get your head above water and look around. And for example, if you have a moment to, it's a time of the season, you need to get ads live. If you're too slow with making ads, you can't capitalize on the opportunity. And that's why moving with speed is so important if you want to capitalize on opportunities, make more money. And like I just mentioned earlier, barriers to entry are getting lower and lower, and competitive edges and competitive moats are shrinking. So when there is an opportunity that presents itself to you, you need to ruthlessly attack it. An opportunity to me is just a chance to increase something that's important to you. It could be money, it could be time, it could be leverage, whatever you value. An opportunity to me is just something I call a chance to increase something I care about. And then finally, the third and final reason why moving with speed is so important is because personally, I think it's way more impressive. Now, I'm going to give you a reason why, because the way I see it is this. For example, if you become a millionaire when you're like 60, right? Everyone's like, well, you buy a house, you get a pension, everyone's a millionaire at 60. Do you know what I mean? So it's way less impressive. But when you're younger, right, you do things quicker. People are like, oh, wow, okay. You have genuine achievements that are rare. And that's the one of the most important things. And when you appear as rare or unique, people are naturally more attracted to what movements you're making. So for example, within business, let's say you're a young guy and you're just growing really, really quickly. People are like, oh, wow, let's take notice of this guy. And then when people take notice of you, it means you have higher credibility. And if you were listening to what are the most important things about an offer that I mentioned earlier, I said having trust is one of the most important things. And trust is a byproduct of credibility. Now, credibility, just to explain it for you, is basically believing someone can achieve what they say they can. So if I say to you, I can double your landing page conversion rate, and then I go and do it, I've increased my credibility because I've shown you through a tangible thing you can see that's improved, that I've said I'm going to do what I set out to do. Increase my credibility, increases trust, which is then a virtuous cycle, means you can price higher because you have more trust. That means you also have more demand, and that's what aids the demand-supply cycle. So moving with speed directly correlates to better, more impressive achievements, which allows you to charge more, which means you can get ahead even quicker. And when you have more money and more capital lying around, set around, guess what you can then do? Capitalize on opportunities. And when you capitalize on opportunities, whilst you're capitalizing on that, guess what you can also get? Feedback quicker. So they're all relating to one another. But this is all to say, speed is one of the most important things in business and in life if you want to get ahead, have impressive achievements, and achieve your goals. And another good thing I like to always think about is I was reading a book by Naval Ravikant. I think it's called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. It's a great book, by the way. I'd recommend everyone to read it. But in there, he was mentioning as well that anyone who did anything great did it young. Anyone. Isaac Newton discovered the laws of gravity at 15. And people always say, oh, you're too young, too young. No. The greatest people always did stuff when they were young. So don't let that stop you, hold you back, and make you think, oh, no, I'm not right for this thing. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be trying to achieve these goals. No. That's not the case. Every single day you should be pursuing this because you can achieve it, and you will, as long as you keep at it, keep trying to improve and keep iterating. That's all from me. Hope you found this valuable. I'll see you in the next video.